Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolors. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello and welcome back to Painting Watercolours with me, Colin. I'm just going to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for staying with me all these years. I've just stretched the paper, £140 Winsor & Newton watercolour paper. Quick run round of the colours: raw sienna, Naples yellow, Venetian red, burnt sienna, burnt umber, a little bit of sepia and French ultramarine. This is a highland scene and I just want to drop some Naples yellow in the sky, bring it over this mountain. Just a bit stronger here, a bit of raw sienna in it, just to change it slightly, just adds a little difference to it. And I want to take some French ultramarine, a little bit of burnt umber just to grey it slightly. I do want a grey, that looks the colour. And bringing it over the edge of the mountains. Darkening it just to help focus your eye in. This will dry an awful lot lighter, and you've heard me say this. Well, I'm just going to allow all this to spread, and into this I think I'll drop a little bit of burnt sienna just into the mountains, and a little bit of Venetian red. And I think we may drop some Venetian red in, I think this one, with a touch of raw sienna. Just a tiny bit in here, quite pale. When we put washes, we allow washes to run over the top, this should show through and it will give you a little different variation when the paint is thin. And then I'm going to leave that to dry. I'm not sure whether that taped then, but what I did, I just re-wet this hill. And with a slightly stronger mixture of that, I just put the trees in, like with a brush tip, allowed it to drift through the water, a little stronger at the bottom, and then just lifted some paint out with a brush where I want the next set of hills to stand out. I'm not sure if that taped. If it didn't, I apologise. And you're going to leave that to dry. Then I'm just going to re-wet this hill. Take some more French ultramarine, some more Venetian red. Plenty of this in, I think. Just a little bit of sepia. That's just a bit of burnt sienna in it there. Pick up some of the paint. I'm just going to drop this into the hill first. Just with a touch of Venetian red in it. Strengthen that up. Just to change the colour. We can put a line of suggested trees. And as it's a bit closer, we can put one or two tops in. Just hinting at some detail. A little darker. That's just a little bit of burnt umber or sepia. just in spots. I'm just changing it. So you get a mixture of colours. They will all play nicely together, these colours. It doesn't really matter which way you mix them. Take a little blue, just bring this into the bottom. You see, I'm just dropping colour in, and as the paper's drying, we'll just leave marks in it, giving a suggestion that there's a mass of trees here. Once again, I've just re-wet this hill here down to here, and I just lifted some paint out there with a kitchen towel on the other side, just to allow me to put a next set of trees in. I decided I would put some more trees in, and I'm using the same colour but paler. I don't want these to be too strong. To disappear over here. Once again, just adding a little definition to the tops of some of these trees. I did add some viridian green to the palette. It was an afterthought. I thought we could do with a little change, and I'm just dropping this in and allowing it to drift through, just giving a little mist. Then into that viridian I'm going to drop some blue and some sepia, because I want this to be dark, very dark green. I want these to stand out. And I'm going to pull it into this colour here, just allowing it to change. Just using the tip of the brush to pull these branches out here. To lift some colour off that, allow this to come down. Just going to add some blue into this sepia. Into the shoreline and the trunks of the trees. And just while this is still damp, just add a little bit more colour to it. Okay, then I'm going to allow that to dry. Just adjusting it. Okay, then we're going to let that dry. I've just refilled the palette with some colours. They're all in the same place. So I just want to take some French ultramarine with a touch of burnt umber, just to grey it. A little bit of water with that. Take off most of the paint, and I want to add this waterfall in here. So with a dry brush, a little bit greyer than that I think. Apply the brush on its side and just pull it over. Just adding some water and softening the top back. Bring some along here. River area. Got the board laying flat for this. I want to take some Naples yellow and add this in. Some of the raw sienna. all horizontal strokes. Some of this grey, I'm just going to add a little bit of Venetian red to that, some of the burnt umber. Basically it's the sky colour. And I do want this quite pale for this really, I don't want the river to be too dark. So I'm just going to add some colours into it. Take some of the ultramarine, we'll just put this in as well. Horizontal strokes. Maybe a little darker down here. Just want to bring these colours together very quickly through the yellow. Taking some of that dark green, really want it dark again. Trying at least to get the right colour. Brilliant green, sepia, French ultramarine. And we can just begin to add some reflections in. Changing the colour here to the burnt umber. Add some sepia to this, a little red. Just pull it down. You don't have to be really too accurate with this. Add a little bit more to this. Once again, I'm just bringing this in across the other colours while it's still wet. Not too much paint on the brush. Just roughly where the trees are. Your eye will mix this. And then I'm just going to leave this to dry. I'll just put a couple of birds in and some wind streaks with a craft knife and a ruler. You've seen me do that before. I want to bring just a little bit more out without damaging the paper. So I'm using Magello Mission Gold, titanium white, a really good cover of this one. And I'm using a very, very fine brush. And I did want to bring some ripples out. So that's what we're putting in with this. All horizontal strokes. Just bringing it through the reflections. Don't Don't swing them down too far. I think that will do it. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please click the like button and subscribe. Subscribers are always welcome. Feel free to leave a comment. It's always nice to hear from subscribers, new and old. Thank you very much for watching.